On today's show, we mourn the anniversary of a lost cypress tree, have highlights of boys basketball, and learn why one classroom is dominated by a certain green character. Stay tuned, you're watching WROR-TV.
Good morning, Oviedo. I'm Addison Armour.
And I'm Delaney Warner. Welcome to WROR-TV Daily. It's Florida, so even though it's only February, we're already thinking of spring happenings.
It's often a great time to go on nature walks and visit parks, but for the last decade, one local park has been missing an iconic part of its environment. And Delaney, you got a chance to learn more about it.
That's right. Big Tree Park in Longwood was known for two particular trees, but I explored why one tree was lost 10 years ago.
In 1500 BC, what would become the fifth oldest and largest bald cypress tree in America sprouted, growing to become 125 feet tall and 3,500 years old. Named the Senator Tree, it and its sister tree, Lady Liberty, are two of Florida's oldest pieces of history.
Even some of the indigenous people who lived here before the Europeans ever arrived used the big tree as a landmark for, I don't know if they call it navigation, but also when they knew where the Big Tree Park was and where the big tree was.
These trees being so impressive in stature and history draw the attention of many. Even our former president, Calvin Coolidge, paid a visit.
Here people would come by steam-powered paddle boats down the St. Johns River, and they would dock at Sanford. And there's even pictures of people taking horse and buggy rides on the trails to go see this giant bald cypress tree. So it was really kind of Florida, Central Florida's first tourist attraction.
Despite the park's protocols, just over 10 years ago, the Senator Tree burned down, thanks to a woman who decided to smoke crystal meth inside of it.
So after a while, they just said, yeah, it's going to fall. And it was really hard for us to imagine something that had been there for 3,500 years was going to fall, and we were going to be there. And eventually it did do that. There was a crack and a groan, and it fell and collapsed kind of on itself with a big thud, and there was just silence for minutes. We were all just in shock. It was a really moving experience and really sad.
Everyone was very distraught, but I don't know whether, I think we're angry at the young woman, but we also knew that it was done. You can get angry, but it isn't going to change the situation. The tree's gone.
We knew we couldn't just leave it lie. You know, that was a suggestion that just let nature reclaim it, and that would be an honorable thing for such a big tree. And but we said we got to do something to memorialize it, to keep the senator's legacy living on.
Taking remains from the fallen tree, multiple artisans created art from these pieces, ranging from carvings to vases. These art pieces were distributed to multiple museums in Florida. In fact, right here in Oviedo, you can find a carving in the Lawton House Museum. These art pieces truly captured the beauty of the Senator Tree's legacy.
We were distraught when the Senator was burned down, but now we'll wait another 1,000 years and Lady Liberty will grow as big as he was.
From WROR-TV, I'm Delaney Warner reporting.
The ASVAB test will be given next Tuesday, February 22nd in the Media Center at 7:30. This test is free. Sign up in NJROTC by Friday, February 18th.
In celebration of Black History Month, we want to recognize the late Honorable John H. Ruffin. Judge Ruffin was the first Black member of the Augusta Bar Association, first Black Chief Judge of the Georgia Court of Appeals, and established case law for the desegregation of Georgia County schools. Judge Ruffin was the grandfather of Oviedo and WROR-TV alum Bryson Ruffin.
On Tuesday of this week, the Oviedo Marching Band held a performance for the Little Lions preschool class. It was quite a fun experience for the preschoolers and a chance for the kids to learn about different instruments used by our marching band. We're in that time of the year when winter sports are winding down and spring sports are gearing up.
Reporter Riley Finnegan has an update on her own performance in lacrosse, plus some reports on girls wrestling and basketball in this morning's O-Town Sports.
Good morning, Oviedo. I'm Riley Finnegan here with your O-Town Sports Update. Last night, boys tennis fell to Lake Brantley with a score of 7-0. Regionals for wrestling are coming up, and the girls are looking to be some fierce competitors. For more on that, let's head over to Carmen Longhurst.
Hey Vito, I'm Carmen Longhurst. I'm here today with Cam Harbor, a member of the girls wrestling team, who this weekend is going to compete at regionals. Cam, this is your first year in girls wrestling. How has that experience been for you?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been challenging. Wrestling is a very aggressive, abrasive sport. So going from like normal sports like soccer and lacrosse to something so hands-on was really difficult, but definitely worth it.
Yeah, and at regionals this week, how are you preparing yourself going into that?
Well, every day we drill and practice, we drill hard, we push ourselves, but it's also a really big mental game, making sure that you're eating well, thinking well, not overwhelming yourself.
Thank you, Cam, for your time. Good luck to the girls wrestling team this weekend at regionals. This is Carmen Longhurst, back to the studio.
Thanks, Carmen. Also last night, girls varsity lacrosse opened up their season with a 10-3 win over the First Academy. Junior Avery Anderson led the team with 5 goals. A couple weeks ago, boys varsity basketball played Winter Springs. Let's go to photographer Noah Berman and reporter Jack Figliotti for the highlights.
On January 31st, your Oviedo Lions boys basketball took on the Winter Springs Bears on senior night. The Lions won the tip-off, but the Bears were the first to score with a 3. The Lions quickly followed up with their own 3 by Maxwell Strickland. Later, an assist by Maxwell led to a 2 by Alex Saunders. At the end of the first quarter, Maxwell stole the ball from a Bear and turned it into a dunk, tying the score at 16-16. The Bears refused to turn down the heat with a deep 3 to start the second quarter. A 3 by Maxwell evened the score. This was followed up with a layup by Christian Galloway to put the Lions up. The Lions would never again lose that lead, cemented by another steal and dunk by Maxwell Strickland to end the half 33-25. The Lions choked their fire to start the third quarter with a 3 by Ryan Blount. A steal by Alexander turned into a 3 by Dawson Barr to continue the domination. Another layup finished off the third, with the Lions up 47-30. The Lions started the fourth with style, with Dawson Barr and Ryan Blount maneuvering the ball around Bears with a 3 by Ryan. Later, a steal by Dawson led to a perfect layup for another 2. The game sealer was one final 3 by Alexander Harper. The Lions destroyed the Bears 63-38. With O-Town Sports, I'm Jack Vigliotti.
Tonight, boys wrestling competes in the district meet at Haggerty. Tennis takes on Trinity Prep at 3:45 at Round Lake Park. Boys weightlifting competes at Lake Howell at 4. Softball plays Lyman at 5 and Cornerstone at 7 at Soldiers Creek Park. And varsity baseball takes on Windermere to close out their preseason classic at 6 on Mickler Field. That's all for today's update. Now back to Delaney and Addison.
Before we go today, we're going to dive into a special collection here on campus.
Now, usually collections are just for fun, a hobby, but this collector finds a way to drive student success.
For more, here's reporter Kaylin Herbett.
Deep in Oviedo High School's hallways, a 9th grade English teacher spends her school days surrounded by her not-so-ordinary collection. Her collection of Shrek.
Well, the collection is extensive. It started with the cutout. I really expanded my collection by making a lot of my own Shrek stuff. So I have like a mug that I've made, I have like signs, posters.
Her collection origin story, like many others, started out as a joke, but it slowly shaped itself into her teaching identity.
I had some roommates, and our freshman year of college, we kind of started this joke amongst ourselves. We would say our favorite movie was Shrek. When I became a teacher after college, I had to think of, like, I've always been kind of like an extra person, so I had to think of something fun.
A teacher and her Shrek collection may be as odd of a pairing as Donkey and the Dragon, but it does have a special way of inspiring her students in the classroom.
She uses her Shrek collection as activities, and sometimes she lets us do things that are Shrek themed, and it's nice to use them in a lesson because it's not just what we're supposed to be learning. It's something fun.
Miss Ferrante's Shrek collection quite literally fills her classroom with fun and fantasy, and when the year is over, leaves her students with something to remember. For WROR-TV, I'm Kaylin Herbett, reporting.
That's our show for today. It's Friday Eve and we have a 3-day weekend coming up, so hang in there.
Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.